As we've been predicting for months, inflation isn't dead. It's not even resting. In fact, it is rising again. Will the Fed finally go full goblin mode? Fresh numbers from the BLS reported month-on-month inflation at 0.6% for August. That's a 7.5% annualized pace. Core inflation came in lower at 0.3%. But even that was double last month, also an acceleration. By the way, that marks fully 2 years that core has been above 4%. Services inflation, which the Fed was Hail Marying as a savior, reaccelerated to the fastest pace in 5 months. What sent inflation soaring again was food. Gasoline up 10.5% on the month. Rent up now 40 consecutive months, and a special appearance by car insurance, which leapt 19% in a year. That's the biggest jump since 1976, when Jimmy Carter was still fiddling with his thermostat in the dark. Used car prices kept falling. Perhaps because people could no longer afford to drive. You will ride a bicycle and you will be happy. What is hitting food is a worsening drought in the Midwest. What's hitting gasoline is production cuts by Saudi Arabia, Russia, and their OPEC friends. Plus, of course, Joe Biden, who pays his activists by impoverishing you. The Saudis are upset that Biden drained the Strategic Petroleum Reserve without warning them, which he did to buy the midterm elections with cheap gas. Biden did that on purpose, of course. You can't buy an election if the Saudis reverse your drain, but it costs the Saudis a lot of money, and they feel betrayed by Biden, as many of us do. So what is next? The Fed is meeting next week to consider rate hikes. The great debate had been whether they wait and see with a bias towards more hikes or wait and see with a bias to cutting. The key trade-off being if the economy is strong, they lean towards hikes. And if inflation keeps going, even if it's just stuck, they also lean towards hikes. I mentioned recently why, when it comes to inflation, a tie is a loss for the Fed, because they're afraid that the longer inflation keeps going, the more it becomes entrenched and harder to kill, because it gets baked into prices, long-term contracts, and salary negotiations. We're actually seeing that right now with auto workers demanding a 50% pay hike from Detroit. So, with those stakes, recent GDP strength, fortified by trillion-dollar deficits, was already putting the Fed off its meals. Now, with inflation not only stuck but re-accelerating, that's one more factor to distend the Fed's delicate constitution, send them reaching for those rate hikes. Because above all, the Fed is afraid of being head-faked again, with inflation falling only to resurge, as they were in 2021 and 2022, each time thinking they had turned the corner only to disappoint us all. I mentioned in recent videos that as much as the Fed is living on borrowed time in terms of inflation, the longer it lasts, the longer it stays, they're also living on borrowed time in terms of the recession, given the typical 18-month lag between rate hike and economic devastation. So, on both counts, this supposed Goldilocks economy we're all enjoying is running out of time. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.